Hello, this is Swan TV. I'm Nuria, and we are here to talk to Helena Herklots OBE, the independent Older People's Commissioner for Wales, who is paying Swansea a visit today to support social initiatives, pay a visit to older people, and talk to us. Let's go. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's been lovely.
What brings you to Swansea today?
So I've had a fantastic day. I've been with the Ageing Well group here. We've just done a lovely walk around the waterfront. So I've been chatting to older people, listening about the issues they're facing, but in particular finding out all about the great partnership work that Ageing Well and the age-friendly work is going on here.
Do you think that those kinds of social initiatives are helpful to support the elderly in Wales for a more prosperous, enjoyable life?
Really important. We know that one of the things that can particularly affect us throughout our lives, but particularly if you're a younger person actually and an older person, is about loneliness and isolation. And the Ageing Well programme does a huge amount to combat that isolation that people can face. But also gives older people an opportunity to volunteer, to contribute to something, and to make new connections as well. So it's really contributing to people's quality of life.
And is the Welsh Government and your office particularly supporting a lot of social programmes like this in different regions of Wales?
Sure. So as the Independent Older People's Commissioner for Wales, one of my priorities is about helping people to age well. So I'm working with Swansea and many other areas in Wales on their age-friendly programmes. And the good news is the Welsh Government is committed to it as well and is providing some funding to every local authority in Wales to encourage this sort of work.
Do you think social initiatives are recovering? Do you think the problem of loneliness is being solved a little bit better as we are recovering from COVID-19?
Well, I think during COVID so many people found it a real struggle, and actually what I know is quite a lot of older people haven't really recovered the confidence that was lost during the pandemic because we were behind closed doors, we weren't really seeing people, and for many older people their physical and mental health deteriorated. So we've got a lot more to do here across Wales to make sure that we're giving older people the opportunity to get out again, to get connected and to feel confident and to really enjoy what's on offer, you know, initiatives like this, for example.
Do you have in plans to implement some schemes to help people recover, to help people feel more connected, less lonely?
Well, my role really is to encourage that work to be done by the organisations that are here to do it. So encouraging the public bodies, Welsh Government, and also doing all I can to promote the good work. So one of the reasons I'm here today is to be able to promote and share the good work that's going on here in Swansea.
Thank you very much for being here today, for coming out to Swansea. Do you like the town?
Oh, well, it's beautiful. I love the sun is shining. I've heard, you know, it shines every day in Swansea, doesn't it?
Do you think that you would be installing any particular programs or mostly the social ones?
So my work as the Older People's Commissioner, I cover a number of areas. So, you know, some of the work I'm doing is about trying to improve access to GPs, for example, to combat digital exclusion, combat issues of poverty. So there's a big policy agenda there, a big influencing work, as well as the encouragement of programmes such as the Ageing Well programme in Swansea.
Oh, actually, you remind me. May I ask about the GPs? How is that working out after COVID? Because with Ask My GP and online service, are older people managing to use that well, or does there need to be other ways of including them?
So, access to GPs and the difficulty getting a GP appointment is one of the top issues that older people raise with me. And some of that is because things have gone online, and we know that about 100,000 people over the age of 75 in Wales are not online. So you need to make sure, and part of what I've been pushing, you need to make sure there's always those alternatives available, like telephone, for example, and face-to-face appointments. So there's more work to do to improve the access that older people have got to GPs, to people in primary care, and in particular to get a continuity of care, because that's really important as we get older, that you can see the same person who gets to know you, gets to know your conditions and how best to help.
And is there any progress on doing that? Because some people are very far away from their GP offices, and when GPs are not answering phones and just sending you online, it can be very, very excluding.
So I carried out a big survey with older people. Over 900 older people in Wales filled this out. I produced a report just a few weeks ago, so I'm working on the actions and recommendations now with people like the Royal College of GPs, with Welsh Government and others. So I hope we can make some practical progress, but there's a lot to do to improve matters there.
Hopefully, and may I also ask about mental health in the community of older people, maybe for people who are retired from work as well, maybe early, maybe on time. Is there any governmental initiatives or mostly social initiatives tackling a mental health crisis?
Well, for older people, access to mental health services is more difficult, and it's actually an area where there is age discrimination. In other words, the sort of services that you might be able to access for mental health can be more difficult if you're an older person. So sometimes there's a stereotype about being older, and that means sometimes the different variety of therapies that might be offered to a younger person aren't offered to an older person. So there's more to do to create that better understanding, and also to encourage older people to come forward if they are facing those difficulties, those mental health problems. And actually, programs like this, so giving people an opportunity to come together, to feel valued, to feel seen, to have someone they can talk to if they've got problems. These are incredibly important. But alongside this, we need to make sure that the NHS is also doing its bit to support older people who may have mental health problems.
Understood. Thank you very much. But I guess social initiatives that promote exercise, promote getting together, they would take a lot of pressure off the NHS as well. So it works well in partnership.
Exactly right. You need that mix, don't you? You need that mix of services and support, and also making sure that older people continue to feel they can contribute and feel valued, and that's really important as well.
I guess another question with digitalization and everything going online is people switching from physical money to Apple Pay, to online payments, to cards. Do you think this is a problem for older people in Wales?
It is, and more places are card only. And for a lot of people, I mean, mainly older people, not just older people, if you haven't got much money, you're literally counting the pennies, then often you'll just prefer to use cash so you really understand how much you're spending or not. So it is excluding some people from businesses, from cafes, from pubs, from other places where it is card only. And it's part of a wider problem of digital exclusion that is certainly creating anxiety and some isolation for some older people.
Well, but I guess the world is not stopping on their behalf. So is there any options for that, or just getting adjusted? Maybe digital literacy courses for older people that help them get a bit more familiar with online payments or online GPs or anything like that?
So we are always going to have a situation where some people in our society are not using the latest technology. So I'm reasonably tech savvy at the moment, but I wouldn't say that in 20 years I'd be confident that I will know the latest technology that's happening in 20 years' time. So there's always going to be a need for ongoing, lifelong learning, really.
Yep.
Not just one class for 1 hour, but somewhere where you can go, where you can get help and support for whatever the latest technology is, because things are moving so quickly. And also it needs to be affordable. So some people, some younger people, some older people are not online because they can't afford it. They can't afford a smartphone, they can't afford the data. So we have to make it affordable. Absolutely right, we have to provide that support and ongoing support, but also know that there will always be some people who aren't online, and we need to make sure offline alternatives are available. So my message as the Independent Older People's Commissioner for Wales is first of all to say what a privilege it is to have this role, and me and my team are here to help all older people in Wales. So if they want to get in touch with me, if they're worried about issues or need to find out some information and advice, they can contact me by telephone, or writing a letter, or on email, or via the website, whichever way.
Very helpful.
And I also know that we all gain immensely when we bring different generations together. So I'm a great advocate of intergenerational work, intergenerational projects, and enabling all of us to learn from different ages and the different experiences.